Welcome to Mind Body Fusion, the strengthening version. Today we'll be starting our practice standing. We'll eventually be coming down onto the mat. And if you need some modifications, feel free to have a small, perhaps kitchen chair or a folding chair by your side. Just make sure that it's not going to slide. Make sure perhaps it's on a piece of carpet, something so that it's sturdy. And I will guide you through some modifications. If you're feeling faint or dizzy, please stop immediately. Make sure that you check with yourself. Do you need to have medical attention? We always want to be safe when we work out, when we go into movement, and even with Mind Body Fusion. Sometimes, if we're not feeling quite 100% because of the movement, we need to check in and modify. So feel free to take modifications as I provide them. Do listen to body alignments because that is very important. Our body works best when we're in alignment with the body, with the way the body works. But if we do certain exercises and we're not in alignment, then we can put our body into a bit of distress, and we don't want to do that. I think that's it for announcements. So let's get started. Let's become present. Standing at the top of our mat. And I do need to make an adjustment. I thought I had adjusted it properly, but I'm still being cut off. So as we come to the ground, I will modify once again the camera so you'll see a close-up. All right, so let's just sway from one foot to the other. We will be strengthening, but it's going to be a little bit lighter strengthening today. So just sway from side to side. Check in with your feet. Say good morning or good afternoon or good evening whenever you're listening to this recording. Swaying your body from one foot to the other. Check your foot out. Bending your knees as you're doing this. Very good. Now lift up one of your heels and then lower, and then lift up the other and lower and switch and lower and switch. And lower and switch, and lower, switch, and lower, switch, and lower, switch, and lower. And now let's come up onto the balls of the feet. Hello, and lower down, and lift up, and lower. Now if you wish to counterbalance, bring your arms up, lift, and lower. So you're probably going to notice your calf muscles here. Breathe, and lift. And lower. Nice. Lift and lower. One more time. Very nice. And now from here, slide your hands down. Now, if you wish, you can rest here, or this is an opportunity to use your chair. Use your chair to hold on. And if you wish to do the full movement, come all the way down. Breathe and then roll all the way up. Inhale. Reach. Palms come together. Up above the head and open up. Breathe. So the knees are bent, and inhale into the center. Exhale. Let's go into swan dive. Use your chair if you need it. Breathe. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold, loosening up the back. Inhale, rise. Palms come together and open up the front body. Inhale into the center. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe, warming up the body. Inhale, exhale, inhale, rise up, opening up, and inhale into the center. Exhale, forward fold. Now as we come up, we're going to shift our motion. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Now this time, interlace the fingers and index finger up and over to one side. Breathe. Very nice. And back into the center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, interlace the fingers, index finger pointing up, and other side. Breathe. Now make sure that you're coming over the body as opposed to front and back. Back into the center and exhale. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Breathe. and come into kind of a chair pose, twist, only briefly. And then exhale into the center, inhale, rise. Exhale, chair pose, twist to the other side, just briefly, just warming up the muscles. Inhale into the center, exhale, and inhale, lift. Exhale, twist, breathe. Exhale into the center, inhale, rise. Exhale and twist. Last time. Nice. Inhale, breathe. Now, if you have a chair nearby, we're going to go into downward dog. So hands on the chair. And then from there, you're going to step back. And those of us on a mat, hands come onto the ground. Step back with your feet. Breathe. Hips are lifted up. So do your best to keep your hips lifted up. Your heels may or may not touch the ground. Breathe. And the feeling in the hands is though you're pushing your mat forward. The feeling in your chair is simply back, like this. Breathe. All right. And now let's come into a plank. So what is going to happen is you're going to reposition your body weight over shoulders, over the wrists. Breathe. If you're in a chair, what you're going to do is from here, you're going to step back just a little bit. Now I can't fully step back because I have no chair with me, but your abs are going to be coming into play here. You're going to step back, matching that back foot of mine. And you check to see what is the perfect plank for you. So breathe. Nice, nice, nice. Now let's go back in a downward dog. Those of you that are using a chair, you're going to step in with your feet. This is what you're doing. You're walking in, coming up, breathe, downward dog. And now let's take a giant step forward. So we're going to come into a standing position. Those of you with the chair, you can release your chair. Inhale and lift up. Breathe. Exhale. Now, mountain pose. Body weight evenly between the 2 feet, palms forward. Let's check in with our posture, shall we? We have our hips over our ankles. We have our shoulders over our hips. I'm going to check my posture too. Shoulders over ears, over shoulders. Nice. Breathe. Yes. And I'm going to stay silent. I'll stay silent for about 30 seconds. Just check in with your body, see where you're at. If your eyes are closed, open your eyes. Inhale, lift those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands on the chair if that's what you need. And then inhale the flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. We're going to come into a chair pose and we're going to hold. Breathe. So our body weight, most of the body weight is in the heels. We press our hips back. Notice my knees are not doing this. My knees are behind my toes, and it's imagine pressing in or attempting to sit on a chair. Breathe. This is a great strengthening pose. Keep your eyes fixed on a spot on the wall or the floor. Breathe. On the exhalation, bring those arms down by the side. Line them up with the body. Neutral neck, so don't tilt down, don't tilt up. Be as neutral as possible. Still staying in this chair pose. Breathe. Yes, this is a challenge for the morning. breathe. If you need a bit of rest, come on up, come right back down. This is our challenge. Just a little more. Breathe. Yes, we're probably feeling it. Breathe. Focus on your breath and you'll notice that the time goes by really quick. A few more seconds. Yes, inhale, lift those arms up, great job. Exhale, let's go into forward fold. You can feel free to modify with the chair. Inhale the flat back, exhale forward fold, inhale rise, and let's come into twisted chair pose. Yes, twisted chair pose, and we're going to twist now. Option to stay here, option to come here outside of the knee, hold here. Now if you're staying up a little higher, this is what it's going to look like. If you're coming a little lower, this is what it looks like. So feel free to do the version that works best. Top elbow, notice that it points to the ceiling. Breathe. So yes, another challenge, not as long. Breathe. Very good. Exhale into the center. Inhale, rise. Ooh, beautiful. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the flat back. Are you ready for the challenge? Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Let's come into chair, twisted chair. Palms together and twist towards the other side. Breathe. Just make sure you check your knees. Want to make sure that they're behind the toes and your hips are back there. Holding a little longer. Few more seconds. Focus on your breath. And on the exhalation, come into the center. Inhale, rise. Bravo. Exhale, forward fold. Nice. Inhale the flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Take a giant step back with your right foot. Now from here, we're going to just windmill down. Now you can stay here and lift up with the other arm, or you can come further down and lift up. Simply hold. Now this is a challenging pose as well, so simply hold here, breathe. Now I'm going to take my foot stance a little further back. So this is how you make it a little bit more challenging if you wish. Bring that arm down. Inhale, lift, arms to shoulder height. Palm up, lift up. Breathe. So that back foot is about a 45-degree angle. Breathe. That hip flexor is turning to the front as much as possible. On the exhalation, take a giant step forward to meet the other foot. Beautiful. Very nice. Lift and lower the heels, alternating. Inhale. Ah, beautiful. Take a giant step back. And now an option, staying here. Now I'm going to open up this way so you can see my face at all times. But we're doing the same thing as we did on the other side. So either staying here or going further down. Breathe. Fingers floating to the sky, reaching. So we have some releasing happening, we have strengthening happening at the same time. Breathe. Now inhale, lift. Palm is face up and hand on the thigh. Breathe. Opening up that hip flexor, which feels so nice. So this foot, again, is about a 45-degree angle. Feeling the release right up through the arm. On the exhalation, bring those arms down and step it in. Now I'm going to flip to the other side. Inhale, breathe, exhale, forward fold. Now we're going to come down to the ground. So you can bring on your hands on the chair, and we're going to come down onto our knees. The rest is going to be on the ground. To begin with, we have our forearms, or sorry, our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Exhale. Inhale, tip up. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, tip up. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, tip up. And neutral back. Wag your tail from left to center to right. Opening up the side body. Back to center. Right side. Center. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Very nice. Now from here, swivel your feet out. We're going to come to the ground. Come all the way down. Breathe. And bring those knees into the chest. And then from here, extend the legs. So we're going to keep the knees bent. We're going to grab onto the feet on the outside. This is happy baby. Our bodies are happy. Breathe. Just relax. And if you find that you're not able to grab your feet, that's okay. Grab onto your calf. Remember, we always work with our bodies. We love our bodies exactly as they are because our bodies go through so much with us. Breathe. This is like a nervous system reset. We're also doing a little bit of stretching, you're probably noticing. So we want our elbows in by the legs. We don't want to create wings. Make sure your elbows are in by the legs, resting on the legs so the shoulders are relaxed. And do your best to keep your shoulder blades on the ground. Nice. Now from here, keep both feet up. Flex your feet. Bring your legs as close as possible to your chest. You can wrap your arms around. Breathe. And release. Now we're going to go into one of my favorite relaxation stretch poses. So slide your arms to shoulder height. Your feet are a little wider than the mat, or sorry, a little wider than the hips. It could be mat width. And then just tip your knees to one side. Now if you choose, you can roll your head opposite your knees. And just check in with your body. We're using gravity at this point. Check in to see what is the right angle. I am just allowing my knees to splay to one side or windmill to one side and allowing gravity to take hold. So I'm noticing some resistance that's happening. So the muscles are slowly releasing and relaxing, and I'm rolling my head opposite the knees, in the direction opposite the knees. So I open up the neck and the shoulder. Now I'm going to stay silent and just notice what you notice. Keep breathing deeply. And now let's bring our knees to center, head to neutral. Allow the knees to splay out in the other direction. Breathe, roll your head opposite your knees if you wish. Breathe. Just notice all the areas that are feeling so good with this stretch. And then bring your knees together, center. We have our head in a neutral position. Glide your arms down. Now from here, you can bring your hands to your belly if you wish, or your abdomen. We're going to roll to the side. Now from here, we have our bottom arm at shoulder height. And then the top arm we're going to slide about 45 degrees, so just slightly above that shoulder height one, and we're just going to rest. Now I'm going to rest my head on my shoulder because that feels comfortable for me. Breathe, and I'm just going to outstretch my arm 45-degree angle. Now if you wish, take your top leg and bend it higher, bring the knee to the ground. So we have some relaxation happening in through the glute and the lower back as well. Breathe. Yes, this is a deep stretch. So just check to see which is the best angle for you. I'm going to keep coming up high, and I'm also going to stretch my leg because this feels good for me. Breathe. So these are some options for you to consider. So what we're doing is we're stretching in around the shoulder blade right now. Probably noticed that. We have the back, we have the glute. The other option, which I didn't mention, is also to put, if you have a tiny pillow, just place it underneath your head. Breathe. Now to come out of this, slide your top arm down to match the shoulder, and then let's adjust the leg. So I'm just going to slide or bring my foot back in, then I'm going to slide my entire leg to match the lower one, and bring the hands in, and let's roll over to the other side. Now I'm going to swivel so that you can still see me in the front. So again, to set this up, we have our bottom arm at shoulder height. I'm going to rest on my shoulder because that feels good for me. And then from here, I'm going to take my top arm, slide it about 45 degrees above, and you'll notice that the shoulder blade opens up. Now let's adjust the leg. So come up a little higher with the knee if this is okay for you, and if you wish, you can also extend a little bit. Breathe. So I'm just repositioning my body, so I have a little bit of a release happening in through the glute. Breathe. Oops. There we go. And just rest. Breathe in deeply. Now to come out of it, let's slide our top arm to match the bottom arm. I'm going to slide my heel closer to my body, and then I'm going to bring my leg to match the angle of my bottom leg. I'm going to bring my hands closer to my chest. Now let's rest here just for a moment. Let's take 5 breaths in this position, and we're going to make our way up. Just relax before we move. We may feel or believe that to work out or move with the intention of strengthening, or even when we're stretching, that we have to be in a certain position, but this is a reset position. This is a reset for the nervous system, a reset for our body. So even silence is wonderful for our body and our nervous system. Now when you're ready, you can use your palms, forearms, and elbows to help yourself up in a seated position. And let's do another neck stretch, because usually we are tight here. So we'll open up the front again, open up the neck. So I'm going to come to side view, hands behind, open up the chest, chin is to the ceiling, and I have very little body weight back here. It's just to support this position. Breathe, chin is up. Very nice. And release. And I'm going to turn to the front. Both hands are going to stay on the ground. We're going to allow body weight to open up the neck, shoulder, and even the side body. So tilt, tilt, tilt. That's it. Good. Both hands stay on the ground. You're likely noticing that this is opening up and a little bit in through here. If you wish, you can also go a little further. Breathe. And then slowly come on up. Head to neutral. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Use body weight, ragdoll to the side. Breathe. I'm going to allow myself to tilt a little further. Yes, that feels so lovely. Now, just monitor your body position. So when we're doing that, we want to make sure that we're not forward and we're not back. You want to be as aligned with your upper body as possible, because that's where you're going to be feeling the maximum release. And then slowly come on up. Nice. Inhale. Reach for the sky. Exhale. Beautiful. Very nice. Now, if you wish, you can stay exactly where you're at. I'm going to come a little bit closer to the computer, to the camera, with some final recommendations. I did a great job today. So I hope you found that to be relaxing, strengthening, stretching, lengthening. Hope you had a good reset. Do listen to your body, and if it's possible to stay in this space, refrain from doing anything vigorous for the next 15 minutes or so. That will help you stay in this nice quiet space. Remember to drink some water. Also, if you had some insights, sometimes when we're in some really quiet spaces, we might get some ideas or insights, ahas. Feel free to document them on the journal, on your journal. Very, very nice to do that if that is something that feels good for you. So thank you for joining. Have a great day, and until next time.